Okay, everybody, how are you?
Morning.
Good.
Sorry, I'm running a couple minutes behind today. Kids wanted to make a breakfast for my wife on the way out the door, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to be accommodating. How's everyone doing?
Perfect. Good.
Okay, tell me some good news, and then I'm going to tell you some good news.
I'm setting up 2 meetings today to do listings for FSBOs in Lake Lanier.
2 FSBO meetings. Did I hear that right?
Yep.
All right, tell us all about that, because that's actually going to be part of the stuff I want to talk about a little bit today. So give us a good bit more information, please.
Well, I was driving around in Lake Lanier yesterday because I have to still do that $1 million property virtual thing, and saw some signage. Basically took it. I actually have someone who's interested in purchasing out there, and I said, hey, I would love to come see your property if at all possible. I've got some buyers that I could bring to you. And they said, that'd be great. I said, all right, wonderful. I said, so do you have any pictures yet? And they're like, no, not at all. I said, well, great.
Wait, did you call them or knock on the door?
No, it was a flyer, and then I just called them up. It was a flyer out on the street. So
Nice. Okay.
went and grabbed it, and so I just called them up and said, okay, well, I'll be calling to coordinate a time today. So that's going to be today. I said, hey, but if it works out and it looks beautiful and I can actually get my buyers in, because I really am working on that, can I bring in my photographer as a gift to you and get pictures done so that I can help market your place? And that's how I move forward. And then from there, the meeting today will be about how can I help you in the process? And oftentimes that's how I get a listing agreement.
Okay, let me echo that back, make sure I heard that correctly. So you called the FSBO. You told them that you had a buyer interested, which was true.
Yep.
Right. And now you're trying to coordinate a time where your buyer can come look at the home, right?
No, I'm going in to look at the home today to make sure it works for my buyer.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And then they don't have pictures taken. I said, well, after walking through, if I can call my photographer and have him come in, are you open to that? That would be my gift to you. And they said, yeah. So.
Man, I love that. I really love that. So if the buyer wants the home, you actually get to be paid possibly twice.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that the seller may need a place to go, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And most likely it's their vacation homes on Lake Lanier, but you never know. So hence still working that whole thing.
Okay, and simply for even if they don't like the home, then you have good favor with the seller, and you've offered what is probably $150 to $200 gift to them.
Oh no, I get it for much, much less. My photographer is amazing.
Okay, well, hopefully they can stay in business by doing it for much less.
Oh, he works for Stacy Wyatt. He's fine.
Okay. Okay, so now you get a, well, I suspect he'd be interested, well, you tell me, would he be interested in more work? Because we've got a couple other people on the call that would probably benefit from a similar strategy.
Most definitely.
Okay, so check in with him and see what kind of package he'd be willing to offer for something like this.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so now, even if it's, let's say, $50, for $50, you have given professional photos to a seller that didn't have any, or let's just assume had lousy pictures.
Yeah.
And most likely, I mean, obviously no one else has offered that, or they'd already have pictures.
Exactly.
And you're probably first in line to market and list that home. And when they are unsuccessful, which they likely will be.
Right.
Man, you are going to clobber this business. That is awesome.
Yep, I'm excited. And it is a beautiful property. It's not on Zillow at all. It's, they've had the flyer out for over a month. Yeah, so we're just moving from there.
Okay, and did you say there was another one too? You had a second one?
There is another one. I'm getting more information on it. It's a condo. They're looking at either renting it monthly, which is under $1,000, which is unheard of, or selling it for under $200,000. It has a view of Lake Lanier. It's beautiful. Wow. So that's my other one that I'm going to be getting into. Again, same buyer that I have that's interested in both of these properties. But that's my other one, is to get into there. Again, just a flyer, has no professional pictures. Again, $99 out of my pocket, not a big deal.
Wow, that is really good. That is really good. We'll take that photographer out to a nice steak dinner if any of these deals close, because if they're getting paid anything less than $150, they are a very kind person, I'll tell you that. My wife is a professional photographer. I know how the money works. Yeah,
he's doing it. He's really good. He's good friends with Brooke. But yeah, Stacey Wyatt keeps him busy too. So, I mean, he's a premier photographer. I mean, he's amazing. And he's just a good friend also.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. Great work. Great work. Okay. Who else has gotten some business in the last day or two that wants to share?
So I actually found one like that too, but I've called them and texted them and left them a voicemail and haven't heard anything. I don't know. Maybe he
keep at it.
I think it's because he knew. I don't know. Maybe he just really did not want to deal with a realtor. I don't know.
So, you know what? He may have that feeling, but if he continues to be unsuccessful, he may have to rethink that feeling. Maybe do something like a tiny bit unique. Just send him like a video text or something, right?
Yeah.
And just say, hey, I just want to put a face to the text, and you know, I've got a couple of ideas for you, you know, and maybe even pitch the photography idea, and just like an opportunity to chat for 5 minutes, right? Don't hit them. Remember, do the right thing. If you're calling, first of all, don't tell them you have a buyer if you don't have a buyer. And also, don't go in under the guise that you want to, quote, preview the home and then slam a listing agreement in front of their face, right? Ask the questions to find out what's really, what their motivation is, and then bring out the pain a little bit in the sense that they haven't been successful yet, right? Yeah, and you might want to ask them, hey, you know, have you had some experiences with agents in the past, right? Anything particularly positive, anything particularly negative? Because that way you can obviously avoid the stuff they don't want, and you can give them the stuff that they do want. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm going to be in front of my computer in about 3 minutes, and I want to share some stats with you that are really kind of impressive for you guys. So let's just do one more.
Some ideas or some positive news that they've had in the real estate business. Kathy, you've been quite busy the last few days. Tell us what you've been up to.
Okay, so I got a listing under contract last week, got the buyers under contract on Sunday, and I wrote 3 offers. Only one of them got accepted, but then I wrote another offer last night, and so for 2 different buyers. So then wrote another offer last night, a more realistic offer for first-time home buyer. So hopefully we're going to get them under contract by 12 o'clock today.
Love that. Love that. All right, let's do one more. Everyone, welcome Tony, by the way. I believe this.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Nick Corbett's husband. All right, good, good. Congratulations. I've seen some sales.
Oops.
He walked into the office and cut off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about him while he's, well, he may not know it and can't stop us.
How are you doing, Kathy?
I'm good.
Good.
Meeting with
And your grandbabies? Grandbabies are good?
They're good. They're moving away to Jacksonville, Florida.
What?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it looks like
All
Brian
Can you
there.
hear me okay?
Yeah. Bill.
All right, hang on one second. I apologize for this, guys. Okay. Okay, Tony, did you hear what I said?
You said you had some exciting stats to share.
Yes, I want to share these with you guys. Even though not every single person has reported their numbers, hint, hint, I would love to share some positive news, okay? First of all, I'm looking at all the categories that I asked you to track. I'm tracking for everyone in sum and month-over-month trends. So I can see, for example, how many hours did we spend in March lead generating, how many hours in April did we spend adding people to the database, that kind of stuff. And as of right now, May was the best month by far, almost double our second best month, which was almost triple March. We did over 1,060 hours of lead generation in this group. Okay, that is the first domino. Okay, so I appreciate your dedication and your commitment to your business, and it's working. Okay, the next thing, we have now practiced more than we ever have in a month. We are about 25 hours short of our all-time goal for command hours. I'm sure once everyone puts in their numbers, that'll be higher. We have had 4,485 total contacts in the month of May. Congratulations, that is a record. Database adds, if it wasn't for one stat back in March where somebody basically completely built an 800-person database, we would have a record there. We've added 776 people to our database in the month of May. We've almost set more appointments than we ever have, or held more appointments. So as soon as you guys log your appointments, we'll probably set records there. We have gone on 19 listing appointments, and I'm almost certain that there's a couple hidden out there that you guys will log, so that should be a record. Taken 11 listings, our record for contracts written, 27. Pending, set a record, 16. And what I'm realizing, there is a little difference between the listings that, the closings that you guys are reporting and what's actually happening. So you guys closed 11 units in May for a total of a little over $77,000 of GCI and almost $16,000 of company dollar. So congratulations, great month, okay? And I'm starting to see the signs of future growth, of course, number one, by the growth of the group sheer numbers. And secondly, by just the hours of time you guys are spending lead generating, okay? So thank you, let's keep it up. And with that thought in mind, I wanna introduce an idea to you that I'm gonna spend a little bit of time in the next couple of days continuing to prepare for, which is Bold 100, okay? Bold Pivot taught us how to do 40 contacts in a day. And the vast majority of us, as I've been working on our one-on-ones with you, we've realized that you actually don't need, a lot of times, anywhere close to 40 contacts a day to hit your financial goals, right? Some of you need 11 a day or 18 a day or 14 a day, these kind of things. So I want to continue to have this idea that you're going to at the least hit, or this goal standard that you're going to at least hit the number of appointments that you need to hit your goals. I also want to make sure that when you set your goals for our PC results page, that they actually match the goals that you need, right? So when you set your goals, just don't pick a number out of the sky. The goals really should be the same every single week based on what you need. So if you need to contact 16 people a day to hit your goals, then your goal should be 16 times 5, and it should be that way every month, or I'm sorry, every week. So as long as you're on track. If you're off track, then we need to account for that, okay? What I want to do with respect to Bold 100, this is a concept that was introduced many years ago where you attempt to do, or you commit to do 100 contacts in one day, okay? Again, they can be back and forth text message, they can be through social media, they can be out in the field, they can be for sale by owners, cold calling, expired listings, they could be circle dialing, circle prospecting, which I think is going to be a real good strategy for a lot of you. The idea is, remember, if we teach you how to lift a 50-pound weight, and then you only have to lift a 10-pound to hit your goals, it's a whole lot lighter than a 10-pound weight feels before you lift before you lift a 50-pound weight. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to push you guys real hard. Every single time that I've seen somebody do a Bold 100, they have walked away with several clients, several. A lot of people oftentimes add it to the database, but like several real, I'm ready to do something clients. Is there anyone on this call that's not interested in having a I'm ready to do something type client right now? Anybody? Okay, good. That was an intelligence test. You guys all passed with flying colors. Congratulations, okay? So my goal is to get you guys clients just like that. So the plan right now is to have that Bold 100 session next Wednesday, the 10th. Okay, so we'll have our morning huddle, and then I'm gonna leave the room open all day long. You can turn off your camera. You can obviously mute yourself. And my goal is to have everyone, if you need to come and go, whatever it is, I want to give you as much notice as possible so you can block out that time. Between now and then, I'm going to put together a little kind of cheat sheet, if you will, that will have some basic formulas for expireds, for FSBOs, for circle prospecting. I want you to study those agent pivot scripts that we've been talking about for a long time about checking in. Obviously, check-ins would count too. Those are real estate contacts. I want to make it foolproof, okay? And the way that's going to happen is by, number one, clearing your calendar. Number two, committing to it, right? Number three, knowing who to call and what to say. And number four, to have a community around you of people that have the same goal for that day, okay? So I'm going to make a big ask, and I'm going to do it too, by the way. Okay, and I'll be in the room all day long. I do have a little staff meeting with Andy at 2:30, but beside that, I will be in the room all day long, making sure that you guys have your questions answered, that I'm gonna be a supportive participant and a supportive colleague, and we're all gonna announce our results. We're all gonna check in with each other and cheer each other on. I'm gonna post every time I book an appointment and these kind of things, and I want you guys to do the same thing, okay? So we're going to create a hell of a lot of activity that day. And I'm going to make it as simple as possible, again, so you know who to call and what to say. So with that said, I'm going to encourage you guys all to, number one, continue to study the scripts between now and Wednesday, so you can be more and more confident in what you're going to say, okay? I'm also going to encourage you to check out Vulcan 7. Vulcan7.com, VULCAN, the number 7.com. The password, I'm sorry, the username is all lowercase Roswell, ROSWELLPC, and the password is consultants, all lowercase with an exclamation point. Consultants, exclamation point. Okay, there's some videos on that website, so you can learn kind of a tutorial around the website, more information about the data and how to pull it out and extract it and that kind of stuff. So you can begin to pull some lists, or you can do that immediately prior to next Wednesday. But familiarize yourself with that. That site or that program, the Market Center is paying $350 a month for that. So next time you see anyone in leadership, thank them for their financial contribution, okay? This is money that you don't have to spend and a resource that can make a gigantic difference in the growth of your business, okay? We also have a website called Cole Resource Realty. I want to remind you about that. Cole is a little different. I know for a fact that if we send out the password and username, we will get caught. There's other offices that I'm friendly with that have done that, and they've shut it down and made them buy like $1,000 a month program instead of $1,000 a year program. So what we're going to do instead is, if you would like to circle dial around a particular neighborhood or home or address or whatever, some good topics for circle prospecting. Just to remind you, circle prospecting would be like, let's say I have a home, 123 Smith Street, and I want to call the 2,000 people that live closest to that property. and I want to tell them, hey, we're doing an open house on this day, or hey, we're doing we just listed this property, just reduced the price, or it just went pending, or it just sold, right? And you want to let the neighbors know, and we'll go through the scripts and everything, but you want to let the neighbors know, and that be an impetus for your call. That's the point. This is the software that shows you, or the data that shows you what their names are and how to reach them by their cell phone, okay? So if you have a address in mind, maybe it's a listing that you have, or a listing that you're gonna have soon, or maybe it's an address that's like the middle of the farm that you want to start working. I want you to send me the address, the full address, by text or email, and I'll have my assistant pull it up for you, and we'll send you about 1,500 to 2,000 names and numbers that match that, or that circle that address. Make sense? Okay, so don't all do it on Tuesday night now. Okay.
Okay.
Send it to me now, so I don't have to do 40 of them, or my assistant doesn't have to do 40 of them Tuesday night. Let's prepare properly, okay?
Okay, so it's Wednesday the 10th.
Wednesday the 10th. That's
Okay.
right. Is everyone cool with that?
Yes.
Yeah, and so you're saying that you want us to find a house that we want to do prospecting around, and then
Well, number one, if you want to spend some time that day calling around a particular address, then
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm not mandating that you do it, but
Okay.
if you do want to use some time on that day, because 100 contacts, that's two-way conversations. You may have to dial 200-300 times to get that. So I want you to have some backup of people you can call, right? Because if you run out of people to call at 1 o'clock, then it's going to take you an hour to go find some more people. I don't want that to be an hour wasted, right? So Andrew, for example, that listing, you may as well get the information. Let me go ahead and get you that information. So if you got a free 5 minutes, you can go make some phone calls at any time. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. If you want to send me multiple addresses, that's fine as well.
Okay.
Typically, we get capped, I think, at around 1,500 calls or 1,500 names. So it's generally going to be somewhere between 1 and 2 mile radius from that address. And we'll maximize it out as best as we can. Okay.
Okay.
We'll send you a CSV file with the data. All right.
And does that work mostly with like talking about open houses, or?
So this is simply the data for the people that live nearby. I think the best topics.
Data. Okay.
Yeah, these are not people that have a home to sell. These are not people that have expressed any interest in speaking to a real estate agent,
It's
or
just
it's just the data.
Okay.
Right. So then you could call them, and it might be a good idea to plan an open house for that Sunday, the 14th, in that general vicinity.
That's my question. Are we doing open houses yet?
You can do an open house. Yes. You got to have social distancing. You got to follow the CDC procedures. I would highly recommend, the booties and the masks and the glove and the hand washing stuff. You basically want to make sure that your people feel comfortable. I would also recommend potentially having a second person there, that somebody that can make sure that no more than one group goes in the house at once.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
But we are able to do open houses now. So maybe suggest doing an open house on that Sunday, and then you have one more reason to call, right? You could say, hey, I'm calling for a few reasons. Number one, I want to let you know about an open house. Open houses from 2 to 4. However, from 1 to 2, we're inviting just the neighbors, right? So if you want to sneak peek at it, you can come in and see the home just privately, okay? And by the way, I don't care if they want to buy or sell something. I just want to know they have a heartbeat and they're not married to a realtor. Then you're going in the database. And sometimes when they're married to a realtor, they get divorced from that person. Okay. Was somebody going to say something?
Yes, we had an open house on Sunday, and again had the Cokes in a galvanized bucket, and there were 2 decks for them to wait their turn, but we had a really good turnout, and people were fine with waiting their turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just for your safety. It's for the seller's safety. It's for their safety, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I want you to think about who you might want to call, and let's make sure that you have all the information that you need with enough time so that it's pretty and organized and you can go to work right away on Wednesday, okay? I promise you, if you go ask 100 people about real estate, you will find new business. No question. Fair? All right, beautiful. Okay, two additional things. There was an email, I believe, that was sent out yesterday from the office that reminded people about something called Spring Masterminds. Spring Masterminds is typically right around this time, and you go down to Florida or wherever it happens to be, Hilton Head and these kind of places, to do to sit through a couple of days of masterminds with top producers across the country. This month, or this year, it's digital, as you would imagine, right? And it's actually on the 8th and 9th of June. So next Monday and next Tuesday. It is a $49. So I would check out the website called, I think it's springmasterminds.kw.com, is that right? I'll post the website here in just a second. I got to search for it. But if you're interested, I'm not going to have any official programming from the group during those times because I'll be in the mastermind myself, and I would encourage you guys to consider that as well. It's only open to 6,000 agents out of the 180,000+ of Keller Williams. Okay, there's going to be a bunch of panels and Q&A and presentations to, again, help you build your business, okay? And lastly, I want to just tell you about an event. We did this maybe a month or two ago and had some decent turnout, and I just kind of want to reintroduce it and see if this would be helpful for anyone. It's what I call a high accountability group. And that session is going to be today from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. The idea here is that we want to help you stay accountable to the things you want to be held accountable to. Okay, primarily it's going to include real estate stuff, right? So if Andrew, let's say we've done your MREA models, and we know that you need to talk to, I don't know, 14 people a day, right? So we can create a system around the fact to make sure that you do that every single day, because we know that if you go down two paths, one is you do it and the other is you don't do it, which one do you think you're going to be more successful?
Do it.
Obviously, right? So if you can create some accountability in your world, then that will benefit you and everyone that counts on you in the future, and that's what we want. So if you'd like to learn more about the program, let's all get together at 1 o'clock. I have some ideas for how we can kind of add some structure around it, but I'd also like to hear, of course, from you guys about, number one, what you'd like to be held accountable for, and I want to help develop some of the habits that you're going to need to do these activities day in and day out. Okay?
Hey, Bill, when you do these things, it would be great, one, if you would do them towards the end of the day. Because when you do them in the middle of the day, we're in the middle of lead generating and or following up from lead generating and or going on appointments. So it makes it difficult to attend all these things in the middle of the day. FYI.
So,
I mean, I know there's only so many days a week and so many hours in a day, but
I have a hard time attending anything after 8:30, after 9 o'clock, because I'm lead generating.
Yeah, or the beginning of the day is fine too, but you know, in the middle of the day is just, it's just in the middle of my business day, and I can't stop my business to do all of these things. So
I certainly keep that in mind. I want to put opportunities out there for you to take advantage of.
I realize that, and we want to take advantage of them, especially those of us who are quote unquote seasoned agents. But you know, it just makes it really difficult for us to take advantage of them.
Okay. I will certainly take that into account. By the way, we do have our growth mastermind tomorrow at 4.
I know, and like you scheduled a Bold 100 on the day for our growth mastermind. next week. So are we doing
No,
our
so I haven't announced the schedule for next week yet, but the growth mastermind is going to be Tuesday at 4 o'clock instead of Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Continue to give me this feedback, guys. I want to create a program that maximizes the likelihood of you coming to these events and maximizes the value you get from them. Okay.
Well, you
So I
know
appreciate
what's really nice,
appreciate all
Bill, is that we feel comfortable enough to give you that feedback. And, you know, that's not always the case with some people. So we really appreciate that from you.
Thank you.
True
Thank
that.
you. Okay. I'm going to try to keep everyone happy, but there probably is going to be another program in the middle of the day. I'm going to do the best I possibly can, though. Okay.
No, we understand that. I'm just letting you know that, you know, it makes it difficult for us, you know, when things are in the middle of the day. So the more you can schedule in the beginning or the end of the day, the better for us.
Cool. I've always felt that, like, I mean, just for me personally, it seems like the later in the day we have something, the more chaos could happen during the day that would prevent you from getting there, right? So it's almost like the earlier on in the day it happens, the less likely some chaotic thing will get in the way. But I appreciate that feedback. And I'm going to, because I've been scheduling a lot of my one-on-ones towards the end of the day. So I don't mind pushing those up and then doing our classes towards the end of the day as well. I'm fine with that. So I'll be on the lookout for next week's schedule, and I will do my best to accommodate that stuff. What were you going to say, Kathy?
I've got to go meet with a seller. So,
all right, go close them.
And my client's here, so I got to go. But
all right, beautiful. If you guys have not updated your numbers, don't make me chase you down. Just do it, okay?
I did it. Yay.
I know, that was not directed at you, Jan. Are you feeling guilty?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was bad last week, so.
I'm going to direct those comments privately, okay?
Oh, okay. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye guys.